Hi everyone, this is Rufaro and welcome to She Money Hacks. So I hope you're all doing well and please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment what you're looking forward to in this video. And yeah, let's get started. So in today's video, I will be going over how I went from a D to an A in a class in just one semester. Yeah, in just one semester. It sounds really crazy, but it's possible. I mean, I think it's possible. I was able to do it, so you could do it as well. And I wanted to do this video as it's time where a lot of people in college, in universities, are writing exams or are taking tests, and you feel like there's nothing else you can do about the class you're in. There's nothing you can do about this class. Should I drop it? Should I not drop it? Or you don't even have the luxury of dropping that class because you're trying to graduate and go. Or if you drop this class, then you're out of, you lose your maybe full-time status, you lose your visa status, or just anything like that. So I hope you find this video helpful. So how this happened was, it was in a class that I thought this class would be easy. I thought this would be a walk in the park, this was actually a history class, African American history class, and I really thought I had it. Like, I really was enjoying the content we were learning. I was engaged. Those people who sit in the front, like I was one of those people, like in the front thing. Okay, mainly it's in the front because I don't have the greatest vision, but hey, sitting in the front also just would keep me alert and pay attention most of the times. So I really thought this class was going well until we took our first test. I studied the way I usually study, and I did not do too well. For the first time in a long time, I saw a grade that was less than 50%. And I was just like, wow. And you know how those memes where it's like, oh, you're failing, but then you see your friend has also failed, so you like hug each other and you're like, oh, we're cool, we're good. It was a situation like that, except with one of my class friends. But then I realized, hey, we could be failing together, but this person's situation and my situation are different when we leave this classroom, so I can't fail. Went on to do additional tests, and it was not looking good until it was midterm and I had a whole D. So I remember going to my coach and showing him my grade, and he just looked at me like you have to get your stuff together. And in my mind I was really thinking, this man recruited this girl all the way from Africa, and she's not good at school, she's not good at this, did she forward her transcripts, like what's going on, right? And I was really thinking, my goal for trying to get a 4.0 GPA, which is 4.0, which would be all A's, this semester it's really not going to happen. It's not working. So I sat with one of my friends, and then she's the one who gave me some solid advice, which I'm going to share with you guys today. So the first thing I did was I got my midterm grades, got my midterm grades, looked at it, I saw I had my D, and then I set an appointment with my professor. If you're able to do that at university, this depends on how big your classes are or how big your school is. So some schools are smaller where you have easy access to your professors. If you have that, capitalize on that, take advantage of that. If you don't, and you can still schedule time with your professor, do it and ask them all the questions. So I set up a time with him, and I said, hey, can I please go over my midterm exam with you? Because the things I want to go over, the things I thought I understood and I clearly didn't. So I set up time with him, we did it, went over it, he explained, how it's done, his marking, the way he marks and everything, and it made a lot of sense to me. And I think it's also really important. For instance, if you're learning in a different country, the system is different, the way they grade is different, or if you just come to university, it's probably different from what you've been doing in high school or before. So we did that, and then I kid you not, every time after class I would be staying behind just to clarify some of the notes. I was nagging this professor because I needed to get my grades up. So that's something you should do. After your tests, go over them. The next thing, actually, which should have been the first point before your test, change the way you study. So I had to change the way I was studying for this particular subject. Usually I like to study by myself, read through the notes. I'm a very visual person, so if I'm learning, let's say about, for instance, let's say if we're learning about NASA in history for some reason, I will literally draw a rocket. I'm a visual person. So I was doing that, and I was highlighting, doing it by myself, creating little songs, rhymes, catchphrases to remember it, but clearly this wasn't working for this. So I decided to study in groups. It's really important to figure out the people who are getting this stuff in your classes, because you want to get it the way they get it. So what I realized was, when we set a time to study with a studying group, and you don't want it to be too big because you can easily get distracted and you waste time, and you're not really being effective, but you might as well have done it by yourself. So a thing I really found helpful with studying in groups was that I realized, if we were in a group of, let's say, 4 people, right, and this person is talking about maybe the Civil War, and they say a way that they remember it, I will remember what they said because they spoke it. I remember the person who was saying it. Like, as I said, I'm a visual person, so I can learn it that way. If this person has a different way of remembering something, I can catch on to it. And so that's something that I found to be really, really, really helpful studying in groups. The third thing that I did was, after learning something in class, because my history class was like almost 3 hours, it was a long class. So after learning something in class, I would read over it within 2 days. So let's say if I get back to my dorm or to my apartment, I'm too tired, I can't read over it. Tomorrow or the following day, I have to read over it. So just to re-jog my memory, because it's so much easier to remember certain things because you remember how the professor said it, you remember the questions asked about this particular thing, and you can jot those things down, and it's easier for you for when you now study. So each time I would leave the history class, I would read through the stuff we did in class, jot down some notes on it within 2 days while my brain is still fresh and remembers the stuff. And I kid you not, when I would be studying, there would be a huge improvement on how I grasped the information. The other thing I did was, okay, this varies for universities. Some universities offer extra credit, some don't. I would always ask, is the extra credit? I asked him, is the extra credit? And he did offer it once. The extra credit was literally like 1 or 2 points, but I went for it. And sometimes universities will offer extra credit, which is basically, let's say if you did a community service event, or if the school's hosting something and they want students to come in large numbers, the professors could have a signing in sheet where you sign your name, and you basically get some points, which could improve your grade and ultimately determine whether you pass or you fail, right? Let's say in that class, if I had 69% and I get extra credit 1 point, that boosts it up to 70%, so you'd have a C, for instance. Yeah. And then, so extra credit. Then the last thing I did in this class was, I cannot stress the amount of times I would just talk to the professor asking for clarification, asking for advice, because you want to be really involved in the class. You want to show the professor that you're really involved in the class. In class, if you have interactive classes, make sure you're interactive. Even though if you're getting the answers wrong, it does not matter. Don't be that person sitting at their back with the earphones in their head and just not paying attention. Make sure you're paying attention because the professor recognizes these things. You might not be doing too well, but they can see that you're trying. Not to say that they're going to fake your grade, no. But I just think that when someone sees that you're putting effort, you're putting in the time, then they can also respect your time, respect where you're coming from as well. So I did all those things, and we did the final. I did my extra credits. I was seeing the professor's office hours. Another thing, never, don't be the person who leaves office hours for the week of finals, because there's nothing you can do. You can't be going to the professor saying, oh hey, can you explain what we learned since the beginning of the semester? It doesn't work like that. They're busy marking exams, doing final things. So yeah, after doing extra credit, studying in groups, going over notes after class, visiting my professor, doing community service, really trying to be as involved in this class as a whole. I took my final exam, and look at God, I got my A in this class. So that's how I was able to turn a D grade into an A grade, and I think you can too. And I was able to finish that semester with the 4.0. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section if this was helpful or not, and what are some of the challenges you're going through with your studying methods, and I would love to help you out.